Hello and welcome to Venice Beach for the second of the World's Strongest Man Super Series. These, of course, the qualifiers for World's Strongest Man to take place here in California later in the year. Now, the Venice Beach Grand Prix will give you your usual fix of heavy lifting strongmen, and quite appropriately, it's taking place here in the mecca of strength, Muscle Beach. Some of these guys have muscles in places most people don't even have places. Nick, over to you.
Yes, thanks Martin, and what a place to come and stage a strongman event. Let's face it, if it's good enough for Arnie, then it's certainly good enough for the rest of us. Today, Muscle Beach is being overtaken by world-class strongmen. There are 14 of them in total. Let's start with the rookie, Brian Shaw, 6'8" from Colorado. Brian Turner, the Scotsman. Tarmo Meat, always a popular man, from Estonia. Christian Savoy from north of the border in Quebec. Sam McMahon from the United States, the veteran Las Vegan. Mark Philippi, short journey for him. Dave Ostlund comes over from Minneapolis. Kevin Nee, the youngest ever to qualify for the World's Strongest Man's finals. You know who this fella is, Mariusz Pudzianowski. He's only won it 3 times. Jason Crystal, another American, a 6-footer, an Olympic champion. Carl Gillingham, twice a World's Strongest Men competitor. Jesse Marunde, second at the 2005 World's Strongest Man, and Corey St. Clair of the United States. And Derek Boyer, Australia's strongest man. What a terrific lineup of competitors in this blistering heat. It's 38 degrees Celsius out there on Muscle Beach. But it's never too hot for the man who always thinks he's the coolest guy in town, Colin Bryce.
First event is the Farmer's Walk, a very traditional event, but this is not traditional at all. It's 175 kilos, 385 pounds in each hand. That's just as heavy as I've ever heard, Sven. And then they got to run 25 meters. Can they run?
I don't think so, Colin, but few guys might. You know, Odd Haugen has set the standard for this event. Now he's pulled out. I don't know if that was the plan all along, but it's going to be a very, very hard event.
Well, Odd Haugen, 57 years old, was going to compete today. It's his home turf. He chose the events, but he's pulled his back, already warming up. Let's hope we don't have any more casualties.
Well, some like it hot. It wasn't too hot for Mark Philippi, who completed the course in just under 23 seconds. Christian Savoy, the Canadian, managed 22.2 meters. Sam McMahon of the United States couldn't get off the starting blocks. But Brian Shaw, the American, 38.83. He completed the course. Tarmo Meat, the Estonian, 24 meters, and he'll be disappointed with that. But then again, it's never this hot in Estonia. Carl Gillingham, he did complete the course. Jason Crystal managed 2 meters, which was just a bit better than nothing, but the man with the lead is Corey St. Clair. And next up, the Aussie Derek Boyer going up against Brian Turner from Scotland. Well, they know what they've got to beat, 22.88. And I wonder, Colin, how much heat has played a factor in this one.
Well, Brian Turner now lives in Florida, so he's certainly used to this kind of heat. As for Derek Boyer, he's getting away with a flyer here.
Yeah, and Brian's in some trouble. And, well, Derek Boyer's just getting a bit more chalk, I think. But I think he's done 2 meters, Brian, but he's not going to be very happy with this, is he? Needs a lot more.
Well, he's struggling. These don't look particularly heavy, but they're solid metal, as heavy as you get in international competition.
And with the heat out there as well, both these fellas are looking for a place to hide right now, and there is nowhere to go. They both stare down and say, you know what, I've had enough. 6 meters for Brian Turner, and I don't think we're going to be seeing an awful lot more from Derek Boyer either. No, he checks out and says, you know what, 11 meters, that's going to be good enough. Well, the heat is on here at Muscle Beach. We'll be back with continuing coverage in just a couple of moments.
Welcome back. You see the strangest sights here at Venice Beach, and that is so wrong on so many levels. We fortunately are concentrating on the second World's Strongest Man Super Series qualifier. Nick, over to you.
Well, we're about to start, I think, here.
Thanks very much indeed, Martin. A man who is never found wanting when it comes to the fashion stakes. Now then, on we go. Kevin Nee and Dave Ostlund, the little and large of American strongman. Big Dave absolutely dwarfing the little fella, and off to a pretty good start here as well. Keeping those legs churning is the key, and Big Dave's got this course down pat.
Oh, he's a big farmer type, Dave. As for Kevin, he's a real gym man. He trains so much harder, and in fact, lifts much more than Dave does in the gym. And this is tortoise in the hare.
It really is, because Ostlund was the guy that started well, but Kevin Nee with the strong finish, 25.1, 27.62. Not shabby from Dave Ostlund, but he'll be disappointed. But what about that from Kevin Nee? That was impressive.
Tortoise in the hare, Dave, and you got beaten.
Yeah, I knew the grip would be the issue for me. I can usually move all right with it, but about halfway through, I knew it was going to be tough to make the whole distance.
That back of yours, Kevin, came good.
Oh man, if it wasn't for it, he would have beat me easily. Once I saw him drop it, I saw the opportunity. It was slipping since halfway though, so I'm lucky I got it to as far as I did. Once I saw him drop it, tried to catch up, almost caught up, and then once I dropped it, I just knew I had to pick it up right away. Try to use my back strength to beat him. So
you guys were both on the limit there, huh? Could have gone much further, this 30 meters?
No, that was pretty brutal. Yeah, I don't want to pick that up more than once, twice if I have to, so I'm glad it was 25.
Well, next up, a rematch of what was a memorable World's Strongest Man final 2 years ago. Mariusz Pudzianowski of Poland, of course, 3 times a World's Strongest Man, against his great friend and rival, the one and only Jesse Marunde from the United States. And Jesse, a family man these days, coming back from injury as well. He's here with his wife Callie and newborn baby JJ.
Well, 5 days ago, we were blessed with our little baby girl. We named her Jessica Joy. And now 5 days old, she's at her first strongman contest, so I think that's just right.
It's her favorite sport already.
You know, like all things in America, this little one was made in China.
I wouldn't say it's been tough, because I think we're pretty tough together, and we're pretty good at overcoming adversity. His knee surgery, he was down and out for a while, and you know, I had a lot of help getting him back to health, and being pregnant, I was a little tired, but you know, we just do it. And I know how important strongman is to us as a family, and it's just part of our lives. We got engaged at World's Strongest Man. We got married after one strongman contest, kind of on a whim, and we have our baby now because of strongman. We're the strong family.
Well, you know, I had both my knees operated on, 3 tendons reattached after World's Strongest Man last year, and I'm in good health now. 8 months of very aggressive rehabilitation, and I'm feeling fully recovered. Tomorrow we'll know for sure, but I'm feeling pretty good. So I think my farmer's walk's in pretty good condition right now, but you know, I know what I can do. I'm certain of what Mariusz can do, and I got to be realistic and say that I think he's going to take me on that event. I don't mind giving up certain events to him as long as there's not too many competitors between us, and hopefully, you know, I can make it up in other events.
Tremendous rivalry between these two, and an even greater level of respect. You're looking at 2 of the all-time greats of strongman. 22.88 is Corey St. Clair's time. They've both got off to a flyer. Here comes Marunde, and he's gone past a struggling Pudzianowski now. Can Marunde keep this going all the way down to the line? Looking good, but those steps are getting shorter. He's shortening up and has a breakdown, and St. Clair's 22 seconds isn't going to be beaten. They're going to have to get inside 30 to make the top 3, and look how far back Mariusz is.
What a time for your grip to go. Here comes Pudzianowski, but he goes down again as well. This is a battle of will now.
Typical of Mariusz. He just edges it at the finish line, but I don't think he's in the top three without a Marunde. So close, and yet still so far away. He has to settle for 42 seconds when it was so close to something special.
Jesse Marunde just running out of steam. Let's take a look at the leaderboard, where surprisingly it's Corey Sinclair leading the way after the first event from Kevin Nee. There is, however, a long way to go.
Second event is the overhead medley. Now you have to press 4 implements. First of all, this stone, it weighs 120 kilos, overhead to arm's length. Then you come here to this log, it's 145 kilos, that's well over 300 pounds, again overhead. Then to this axle press, look at the thickness of this handle, 3 inches thick, that's 150 kilos. And the fourth implement is this massive dumbbell right here. The handle is as thick as a Coke can. You need huge hands to get around it. It's nearly 90 kilos in weight. That's nearly 200 pounds. Again, you have to push it overhead. The twist to this event, you can do it in any order you want.
It's a tough event and it's new to Strongman, and it caught a few people out. Sang McMahon, 3 in 46 seconds. Jason Crystal just lifted 2 in 18. Brian Turner also just the 2 in 21 seconds. Derek Boyer, 2 for him as well, 21 seconds. Christian Savoie, well, he didn't manage any. Brian Shaw, 2 again for him, just over 26 seconds. Then Carl Gillingham, he managed all 4, 87 seconds for him. Corey Sinclair, he lifted 3 in 41 seconds. Mark Philippi, also 3 in 43 seconds. The best time so far, though, Tarmo Mitt in 66 seconds. And Kevin Nee, he lifted them all in 82 seconds.
Well, this is a new competition for Strongman, and I tell you what, if there's ever such thing as a Strongman union, they'll be having a vote on this one, and they'll be throwing it out, because it really has sorted them out, hasn't it? This has taken no prisoners, this event.
Well, it's interesting to see the tactics that Dave goes for here. He goes for the log, which is a simple one, and so too is this axle, really. He's left the awkward ones for last, so it's a strange gamble, but he's maybe getting his bankers out the way to get a good time in early.
Yeah, you would think there's 2 ways of approaching it. As you say, get the bankers in and then worry about what's to come. Others, of course, have decided they've got to get the hard ones out of the way first. And I guess it's just personal preference, isn't it? But Big Dave's obviously decided just make a mark, put something on the board, and then worry about these 2 remaining ones.
Well, the difficulty of this stone is it's very odd to balance. You've got to try and get your hands under it, and Dave's got huge hands, which will help him balance it, and whoa! Sven's given it.
He has, and that's inside 3 minutes as well, so it's a decent time. Very decent time. Now, good luck with the last one, Dave.
Well, this last dumbbell looks like something out of a cartoon, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? It's
so big.
But glued down. I mean, there's just no way. You know, how many of these guys have we seen look at this and say, I can't do anything with this? Ostlund is taking his time. I mean, he's looking at it like a bomb disposal expert, has just uncovered something and thought, well, what am I going to do with this? Dave's kind of hoping it's going to go away. Well, it's not going away, Dave. Now, can you finish the job? One-handed, of course. Oh, what an effort. Well, he made it look easy in the end. He could have trimmed 10 seconds off that. Now, Jesse Marunde. What does fatherhood do to Jesse Marunde? Is it an extra incentive, or is it those sleepless nights going to catch up with you, big fella? What's it going to be?
He's just so explosive, Jesse. That Olympic lifting background, a bit of a mistake there. He's got to be careful. That 130-kilo stone can slam you in the face. Oh, again, Sven's given quite a dodgy decision there.
Yeah, that was borderline, wasn't it? I'm not sure how much control he had of that at all, but it's the referee that counts.
Well, I guess if you're dodgy with everyone, it's all right.
That's what the athletes want, isn't it? Consistency in their officiating. 3 down for Marunde. He's just having a quick look to make sure everything's okay, and I wonder if he's going to circle this thing warily or not. No, he's getting straight in. So have some of that. Thank you very much. And just to really rub it in as how easy this is, Jesse decides to do a bit of showboating. 4 in 44, and a loose bit of change as well. Jesse Marunde, who loves playing to the crowd, somebody's got a souvenir. Jesse's got a fast time. Everybody's happy. Even little JJ.
Hey, did you know you would do well at that? Was that a banker?
Yes, of course, you knew I'd do well at that. Everybody knew I'd do well. Do y'all know I was going to do good at that?
Great use of the legs, that's the secret, right?
Yeah, everybody knows that. I'm surprised some of these fat guys don't do it.
So you're back with a bang. How are your knees? They feeling good?
100%. I'm feeling real good. I've been training real hard. These guys are awesome. When I hear them yell, really gets me going. It feels good to be here. Love being here.
Can that hold up to Mariusz, though?
Well, I'll let you know in a few minutes. I hope so.
Well done.
So we will find out. Mariusz Pudzianowski knows what he's got to beat. That's when he's always at his most dangerous. 44.16. And he's going for that big dumbbell first. Most of the others have left this one till last. And Mariusz has obviously decided, well, I'm going to complete all four, so let's get the tough one out of the way right there. And a little jog down to his next chosen item to pick up. And he's going for the hard ones first, clearly.
He is. I think that's a good move for Mariusz. His overhead pressing is excellent when it's something he's trained, but when it isn't something he's trained, he gets a little bit confused. He takes him a bit of time to learn it, but he's got through it.
And he's made short work of that as well, and that 44.16, he's got a chance. Really needs to move fast on this one. Is he going to do it? Well, he's been told he hasn't done it. Now, I'm not sure whether he'd have beaten that time of Marunde's anyway, but it would have been mighty close, and he's almost thrown that down in disgust. Now, was that my imagination, or was that a little bit of a temper tantrum from the big fella? Having a word with Sven, not happy.
Well, that kept the spotters on their toes. Marunde looks in good form, though, after coming back from injury, beating Mariusz by almost 8 seconds. Overall, Knee and Mariusz tied at the top. Remember Mohegan Sun in the first qualifier, they were also neck and neck.
Event 3 is the super yoke. 950 pounds, that's nearly 450 kilos, has to be lifted up. You can stand up with it, and then has to be carried down this course. Kevin, these events get harder and harder. How about this one?
Well, you know what? Anytime Oud Haugen sets up a competition, you know it's going to be tough. And I'm looking at the list of events, and I'm like, all right, what do we have? What do we have now? Oh, my God, we have this next, we have this next. And it's, now it's a 940-pound yoke. It's like, when's it going to end? Next, we got a 410-pound river rock. It's like, man, Oud's contests are just brutal, but, I mean, that's the name of the game. Every year, we got to get bigger, we got to get stronger, so we got to get tough.
Well, the super yoke proved tough for many of these athletes. Remember, there is a cut after this event. Christian Savoy struggled, as did Brian Turner. Sam McMahon found it even tougher. Jason Crystal completed the course in 32 seconds. Brian Shaw, he managed it in 27 seconds. Mark Philippi, he came through in 22 seconds. But big Tom Omid, he also struggled, just 12.5 meters for the man from Estonia. Carl Gillingham, he did it in 23 seconds. Derek Boyer in 20 seconds. For the man with the most impressive time, who leads at the moment, Kevin Nee, 17.14 seconds.
So on we go. Here's Big Dave. Big Sven's ready. And the time to beat, 17.14. And Ostlund looks to have got his balance all right. That's half the battle with this one. Once those things start swaying around, then you've really got a problem. You've got to keep that under control, keep the legs churning. And Ostlund's doing a good job. This is very solid indeed. Not quite good enough to knock Kevin Nee out, but 15.76 he's been clocked at. That's impressive. And he made it look pretty simple as well. Never lost control.
Dave, you're getting better and better at this. That was great.
Yeah, yoke's been going real well for me the last year. I actually was hoping for like 12 seconds or something, but this felt real slow today.
Well, I can tell you, Mariusz in the 10 went 15 seconds. That will be very hard to beat.
Yeah, well,
I hope.
Mariusz likes a little bit of fire coming out of the crowd.
Here's Jesse Marunde. His turn next. Let's see what he can do. Dave Ostlund, 15.76. Marunde, look at that poise. It's like they're fixed there. No swinging and banging around at all. He's got it absolutely nailed on here. Concentration at a very high level. 15.76 is the time he's got to beat. It's going to be close. Did he make it? Just outside officially, but that's not bad at all from Marunde, who hasn't even broken sweat. Well, Jesse looked like he enjoyed that one.
I just want to say I love you, my beautiful wife, who had my baby on Sunday. I love you, man. Great job, Jesse Marunde. We'll be seeing you at the World Championship.
Well, we're all one big happy family here on Muscle Beach, aren't we? And here comes Uncle Mariusz. He knows what he's got to beat. And you know what Pudzianowski's like when he's got a target. How often does he just do enough to beat it? Little slight stumble there on the start, but now the express train starts to build up some steam. And Pudzianowski is getting faster the further he gets down here, and he's going to be close. I think he did it. I think he did it. Yes, he did. 15.3. And the first thing he says is, what's the score? Did I do it? The answer is, yes, you did it again. Mariusz Pudzianowski. How does he do it?
He is quick, isn't he? Mariusz's blistering pace takes him ahead of the three Americans, and overall it gives him a 3-point lead over Kevin Nee. And look at that, in fourth place, Dave Ostlund moves himself up into a threatening position. It's all fun and games here at Venice Beach. It's not Clapton.
We're halfway through the competition. Please don't go away. We're here at Venice Beach and all we do is play. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away.
Welcome back to Venice Beach and the World's Strongest Man Super Series, the second of the qualifiers for the World's Strongest Man Finals. Appropriately, the event is taking place right next to Muscle Beach, which has been the mecca of bodybuilding for quite some time.
Back in 1935, a group of people that were loving to do gymnastics came down here to Muscle Beach, which was not the name at that time, and started doing gymnastics and training exercises, men and women. And it ended up that a lot of people came to watch them, to look at them. And that started back in 1935, 1940, a culture of athletics, of sport and sports performance. And since then, it's been rolling on. Muscle Beach has gained a world-famous recognition and reputation, actually.
We used to go work out, come down to the beach, lay out, eat, hang out, let the good time roll. It was wonderful.
The whole world was coming to Muscle Beach, actually. People from Europe were traveling here because this is the birthplace of strength training, of gym training. Gold's Gym was here, World Gym was here. Arnold Schwarzenegger came here, he was exercising here together with the great ones like Frank Zane. Yes, I came here in 1976-77 because I learned that if you want to be the best, you have to be with the best. So this is the place to be.
But it's this day where there's more muscle than there ever has been on Muscle Beach. And the weights that are going to be lifted, they're ginormous. They're huge. It's more probably than the history of the last 30, 40 years, all lifted in one day. The strongest men in the world are right here competing on Venice Beach.
So we're at the halfway stage and we've just lost 4 athletes. They've been cut and we've moved on to the next event, which is the Tombstone. It's 190 kilos, way over 400 pounds, and it's not easy to pick up, Jesse. Then you got to run with it.
Yeah, you know, I have picked it up on a separate occasion, and with difficulty, I might add. I've never tried to carry it, so that's another matter. Hopefully I can keep up the momentum and put on a good show here.
Well, I can hear grunting and groaning behind me. Pudzianowski is struggling to pick it up. Will anyone carry this?
Well, it's a heavy bit of kit, and that's a given, but it's also incredibly awkward to pick up. Mark Philippi struggling. Tom Omit also just 2 meters for him. Carl Gillingham, the only man to complete the course, 55.66 seconds.
Well, Jesse Marunde has had the advantage of seeing a few guys go in front of him, so he'll have seen maybe what makes a good grip, because that's half the battle here. You just can't get a handle on this thing, Colin. They've all tried and they've all struggled.
Unless you're 7'6", this is very difficult to grip. Jesse is at least about 6'5", long arms, big hands. That'll help him a little bit.
And Dave Ostlund, who's due up next, is also one of those big frame guys with the long limbs. But you look at this, and Marunde's starting to lose it, and how often have we seen this before as well? So the grip at the top is the important thing, because gravity starts to kick in and you just can't get a handle on it. Marunde seems to have regrouped. This is good, but he's starting to find it difficult again. Yeah, once it starts to slip, as we've seen with some of those other competitors, you're fighting a losing battle, and once it's on the floor, forget it.
Well, he tried to shove it with his knee there, didn't he? He's doing
Tried it again. You can always kick it, Jesse. Trouble is, you might hurt yourself. 21.06. And the Rock claims another victim. Jesse did well to take it as far as he did, because he was losing that battle from very early on. Now, Big Dave Ostlund, on paper, has a real good chance at this event, because he's got those long arms, big hands, and a huge torso, and he can use the three together just to get a good grip on that rock. And it looks pretty solid at the moment. There's the first adjustment, but he's made a good adjustment and has kept his feet going. He's looking good.
Yeah, once you get it in a decent position, just go for it. Don't mess around with your grip, and he's doing exactly that. He's got that farmer boy strength, and he's over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll take that. 28.1 for the big man from Minnesota. Here's Kevin Nee, very popular young man.
In Mohegan's Sun, you know, this year, that was, I thought, you know, after I started right away, I think I got in the second place after the second event. And then I passed out during the car deadlift. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, not again.
Oh no, he looks wobbly. Oh, he's collapsed. Goodness me, he's gone down.
Started to freak out a little bit, but I gained my composure and then got second place on the next event. And then I don't even know what place I got in the last event. I just knew it was enough points for second place, and I was happy. And man, I think I had a perma smile the rest of the day. You know, the rest of the day I was happy. The rest of the week I was happy. So it was a good feeling. You know what? I locked up my placings for World's Strongest Man this year, and you know, I'm happy. And now everything's focused towards Worlds this year. You know, this contest is important also. But, you know, this is more for experience now. This is make sure I don't get injured, make sure I have some fun, and, you know, try to gain some points on the circuit. But, you know, overall, make sure I'm just getting prepared for World's Strongest Man.
Well, he's not a big body, Kevin Nee. He's compact and powerful. And that would suggest he might have some trouble with this. Goes for a very, very high lift on this. But already, look at that, he's already in trouble. You know, you need those long arms, don't you? It really helps.
I think he needs the big lungs as well. It's the fainting disease happening again. This hot weather, and well, combine that with the fact that he's does get dizzy. This crushing down on your chest, yeah. You imagine that it would really be the worst event for that.
Yeah, well, Nee is has taken to walking like a crab.
It's the Ministry of Silly Walks, isn't
it? It really was, wasn't it? Yeah. Where's John Cleese when we need him? Now he's straightened up.
There he goes. This is good. Just got to keep his grip.
You know what? Once it hits the floor, I don't know why these guys even try and pick it up, because at that point, this rock's got you dead and buried. Yeah, no chance, Kevin. Oh dear, on his knees again. You know, Kevin's got to look at this long term. Mariusz Pudzianowski waits.
Our athletes ready, Mr. Mariusz.
He knows what he's got to beat. Dave Ostlund's 28.1. You know what Mariusz is like, such a fierce... Hello, Mariusz is having trouble picking it up. Mariusz is having trouble starting.
Well, he was really wrestling with it in the warm-up. He was having big problems then.
Don't tell me the tombstone is going to send Mariusz Pudzianowski to the strongman version of Boot Hill, because that's what it's looking like. Oh, now he's finally getting something together, but his grip on that looks a bit tenuous, doesn't it?
Yeah, but look at the biceps that hold on to that grip. Enormous.
Well, suddenly, Mariusz from nowhere has produced that, and a nice little bit of technique to make sure there was a bit of forward roll there. That's going to be good for second when it looked like he might not even have got off the grid. Typical Mariusz.
Difficult technique in the stones, yeah?
Yes, I don't have technique. Never lift. US guys a couple times lift the stones. And now only I won't lift and go. Maybe I have technique, it's no problem. Now first time lift.
Deadlift medley next. How's the back?
My back is all the time is good. I will see now who win.
Jesse's back strong though, huh? From good, looking good.
I also have strong back.
Dave Ostlund, surprise winner there over Mariusz and his strong back. Kevin Nee, though, he doesn't even finish in the top 6. Overall, that spells bad news for Nee. Marunde and Ostlund both overtake him to move into second and third.
Penultimate event today is the deadlift medley. Starting off here with this axle, 280 kilos, and you have to lift it upright. Moving on to the second implement, a good old-fashioned weightlifting bar, 320 kilos. It's getting heavier and heavier. That's nearly 800 pounds. Now up here, it's a little jog up for them, as if it wasn't hard enough. They have to then lift this giant fisherman's pole. Erect it up the way, 250 kilos. Back down the steps, and we move on to this farmer's walk. 400 kilos, Sven, for 10 meters. One word.
Insane. This is just insane. This is as heavy as the implement are at the Arnold's, and it's in the end and the last in line of this insane medley.
2 more events to go, and they just get harder and harder.
Well, this medley continues to test the athletes. Tarmo Mitt managed 3 of the lifts. Mark Filippi managed 4, but only managed to move that 4th weight half a metre. Corey Sinclair, he only managed 3. And Kevin Nee, 3 for him as well, but in the slower time of 40 seconds.
Well, the pressure is on Carl Gillingham, currently outside the top 4 in 5th place. Remember, the top 4 are assured of an entry into this year's World's Strongest Man. Carl taking his time. They do have an option to run between the obstacles, shall we say, but Carl has decided, you know what, let's save my energy.
It means so much to Carl if he could get in the top 4. He's a great deadlifter, you can see there, and this is the kind of event he needs to get points on. Quite a family he comes from as well. They call him the first family of strength. Dad used to play for the Green Bay Packers. His brother, world powerlifting champion.
So he's the runt of the family, basically. That's what you're saying.
I don't know about that. You can say it too.
Yeah, maybe not. Up goes the fisherman's pole, and it's on to the farmer's walk. Nobody has yet completed. Most of them haven't even got this far. And what was Sven's word to describe this element? Insane.
It is just so heavy at the end of the day. Maybe at the beginning in the first discipline. Oh, he's got it up though.
Well, there's the power lifter in him. He's put it down again. But he's actually got a little bit of distance there. Half a metre was his target, and he's just edged it. So he goes in front, and that puts the pressure on the guys ahead of him.
Jesse Marunde, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesse Marunde.
You guys ready? Come on!
Working the crowd as ever. A real charismatic showman, Jesse Marunde. Whoa, maybe it is best to take it steady. He nearly fell there.
I think he's going for a quick 3 here. I don't think he's got the back strength to get that last one up.
Well, it's very smart tactically if that's exactly what he's doing. He's got 3 in blistering speed. My goodness me. That was under 14 seconds, and now he's looking at this and saying, you're quite right, Colin. He doesn't want to know, does he?
Well, maybe he's just gathering himself here. Oh, he's
Gathering
working
himself.
the crowd.
He's showing off. Come on then, Jesse, let's see what you got. Not a lot. No. He knew it as well. He knew it. You were absolutely right, Colin. Get 3 done quickly and get out of town. Well, there are some people around here that will call him a wimp. Colin's one of them, but I'm definitely not. I have far too much respect for Jesse. That was smart. That was tactical.
And now, why'd you give up there, Jesse?
I was glued to the ground. Yeah, man, I mean, I really did give it a good shot. It wasn't one of those things where I could, you know, try again and make it. I gave it everything I had the first try, really, and it didn't even so much as vibrate, so I knew I didn't have it in me.
They tend not to have heat like this in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where Dave Ostlund comes from, but he is coping with these temperatures very well, and a return to the world's strongest man looks definitely on for the big fella. Remember how he delighted us 2 years ago. He too going for speed rather than anything else, but Dave's one of those guys you think could have a chance at this Farmer's Walk, because that's a real strength of his.
Possibly. He's got incredible hand strength, so if his back's up to it, he'll certainly hold on to it. He needs good points here as well if he's going to pressure Pudzianowski for the overall title here.
Now remember, Carl Gillingham managed 0.7 of a metre. That's the best that anybody's managed so far, and he's managed to... oh, has it? I spoke too soon. I thought he'd got it, but he didn't. Look at that.
I think he went backwards there.
You get bonus points for that. Well, I wonder who this could possibly be.
At this point, Jesse was in 3rd.
A Mariusz Pudzianowski fan in the crowd. And here is the man himself. 0.7 of a metre is the target. That's what Carl Gillingham managed. Carl will be hoping he doesn't do it, because this is good points for Carl. This could put him into the top 4. Although Pudzianowski has got off to a flyer. And all he's got to do is pick this thing up and sort of lean forward, and he'll be all right. Don't bet against him. Oh, yeah, that's gone. Definitely gone, and he knew it. And that's Mariusz. No way he's going to try and finish the job. Just get first place.
He's such a professional, isn't he? His approach is so good. Well, it was leaning forward, but I think he might have managed the whole course.
He could have done, but you know, Mariusz, as little as he needs to do.
Good news for Mariusz. Not only does he win that event, but he puts clear water between him and his nearest rivals. Kevin Nee slips. Dave Ostlund moves up into 2nd place. Join us after the break for the last event, where it's double points. Welcome back to the Super Series on Venice Beach, where it's a close battle going into the final event of the competition.
So the 6th event here on Venice Beach is the cornerstone of any good strongman event. It's the Thule Atlas Stones, a classic to finish on. 3 times world's strongest man, Bill Kazmaier next to me. Bill, test of strength or speed?
A lot of both. This is the last event. The bodies are totally shot. It's going to take low back. We're going to find out who's got what left.
All right, well, let's just kick back and enjoy. Everyone ready? Yeah!
Corey Sinclair, he's had a good competition. He managed 4 of the stones in just under 30 seconds. Tom Omit blitzed through them, all 5 in just over 20 seconds. And Mark Philippi, he also got all 5, but in the slower time of 32 seconds.
Carl Gillingham got himself into the top 4 here. Up against Jesse Marunde, a good showing from Gillingham. And remember, double points here. So it really does, they all count now. But if Gillingham can edge Marunde, he could even take 3rd. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen, because Jesse's off to a flyer. He's off to a real flyer. Jesse is tearing this course up. Here comes stone number 5. Put Jesse Marunde's name on top of the leaderboard. Wow.
Absolutely vintage Marunde. Gillingham now has to really dig deep here. This is more about confidence than needing the points. He doesn't really need this stone. He's had a good contest so far, Gillingham, and this would be a nice finisher.
Well, with double points up for grabs, though, he really needs to get this fourth stone on just to cement that fourth place that is so important. Remember, fourth place guarantees you'll be in the World's Strongest Man finals. So 4 down. A little bit of insurance here for Carl. No, he knows he's done enough. Looks a little bit tense and stiff there as well, Colin.
I think it's a touch of the bad back, actually. You really don't need thick belts for stone lifting. Look at Jesse, he's got nothing on.
Yeah,
I think Carl's tweaked something.
I think you might be right, because the wheels came off badly for Carl Gillingham. Now Mariusz and Dave Ostlund up next. 1 versus 2. Remember, double points up for grabs, but it would have to be a spectacular collapse from Pudzianowski to allow Ostlund in. Oh, look at, oh! Now the platform moved on that, and it knocked Mariusz right out of his rhythm. And he's miles behind on this one, but that was interesting. That was a mechanical failure. The barrier moved up. Ostlund has just blitzed it. He's in the lead. And Pudzianowski is going to be slow. And this might be interesting with double points. Ostlund can make up a lot of ground here, and Pudzianowski, well, this is amazing. That's absolutely incredible.
I can't believe it. He's not done the 5th one. Oh, this hot weather. Can he get it up? So slippy.
He does, but that time is slow. And I think Ostlund might just have pinched this. But how dramatic. Right at the death. I think Pudzianowski's been edged. Well, there's confirmation. Dave Ostlund with the fastest time, and Pudzianowski down there in 5th. It meant that Ostlund nicked it at Muscle Beach by just 1 point, courtesy of some drama on the Atlas Stones.
How did it feel, the comeback?
Oh, this feels awesome. You know, I'm really happy with myself. I'm happy with my body. Training was pretty perfect coming in for this. I felt really good. I wasn't conservative. I went hard. Body feels good now.
Well done. Now, I can see you've just been hanging over the scorer's shoulder there. What's up?
It's a good day for Team Minnesota. Carl and myself are both top 4. And with the points on the stones, I ended up 1 point ahead of Mariusz.
Oh, come on, look happier, man. You excited, aren't you?
I'm very excited, yeah. I'm kind of in shock right now, so this is great.
You realize that no one's beaten Mariusz in the Super Series in a very, very, very long time.
For 8 straight competitions. So I'm elated right now. I don't know what to say.
Wow, who would have thought that? Dave Ostlund taking a World Super Series title off Mariusz for the first time since 2004. Now that's great news for the Americans. It means they've got 3 more competitors through to the final. Jason Bergman and Kevin Nee already having qualified. Now the final of the 3 Super Series qualifiers takes place in Norway, a Viking challenge. Until then, it's goodbye from Venice.
Sadly, soon after the filming of this show, Jesse Marunde, aged just 27, passed away. No one knew that Jesse suffered from a genetically large heart, which resulted in his sudden and unexpected death of natural causes. His 2nd place finish at the World's Strongest Man in 2005 at the time was the highest place finish an American had achieved since the early 80s. His dedication to the sport was an inspiration to anyone he met. He'll be deeply missed by an army of fans. Our thoughts and best wishes are with his family at this time.